Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Ted, how about we take a look at some of the things that Texas does on defense?
Let's do it.
So, this first one, just going to dive right into it. Subscribe to the channel. Super thanks. Come on, people. You know the drill by now. But this first one is just a look at really Texas's base structure of defense for the most part. They like to play four down linemen and two linebackers. This is Anthony Hill, number 0. This is Benda, number 33. That is their base structure. Now, they will play an even structure, meaning when I talk about a four down even front, I mean two defensive linemen on each side of the center. They will also play what I call four down odd, where there's a guy head up on the center, head up on each tackle, and then an outside linebacker, stand up edge guy somewhere over here or over here, just depending on how they declare the strength of the formation that the offense is in. But this is a good look at the fact that even when you are in 11 personnel and you have your tight end in the core, like UTSA does right here, they will play a 5-man box at times, or what I call like almost a 5.5-man box, where this linebacker is kind of an apex player between number 3 and between being in the actual core. So when you get those boxes from Texas, you're at a numbers advantage, Ted. You got to be able to run the football.
Have to.
You have to be able to run the football. And would you look at what UTSA was able to do? Michigan could not run counter to save their lives against Texas, but somehow UTSA made it work. And when you look at it, you've got a double team here to this backside backer. You got the center blocking back. You've got this first puller as the kick out guy. And then I know you love this, Ted. They're taking the inline tight end all the way around as the second puller, your favorite play. Now, you get a pressure. You're bringing a pressure here from Texas. You've got Hill coming off the edge, which means these defensive linemen are pirating a gap over. You've got Collins kind of coming out for a contain. You've got Simmons kind of hanging out here. And then Jahdae Barron, I don't know what he's doing. He's wrong. He should not be coming. He comes on a blitz. I don't know why. I don't think he got the call. You see him looking at the sideline right there. I think
Yeah.
I think he's a little confused, is what I think, which is rare because he is a very good player and he is a veteran player. But let's take a look at what UTSA was able to accomplish here, because I get the sense that a lot of people think that OU's just not going to be able to do anything at all in the running game. And I understand why that may feel like the case, but he's out and he's gone. And the key here is the right tackle. Watch the right tackle take Burt and move him.
Mm-hmm.
He takes him straight into Benda, the linebacker. And if you want to say, hey, Benda's wrong, he's not in the right gap, I disagree with that. I think 91 gets taken for a ride and put in the linebacker's lap. That's what it looks like. That's how you run gap scheme runs effectively. You put defensive linemen in linebackers' laps, and good things happen, Ted.
Yep. No, he does. And he's trying to get across. You see, there's the pressure coming from the outside. So that defensive end typically is going to have to try and get inside of that tackle, and he doesn't allow him. All right. He gets his hands in there, buries him. He's got him under control, just walks him straight backwards. And now, because of that, you got indecision at backer. Do I stay inside? Is that second? He doesn't know where that second puller is going to go. is that second puller's typically going to look for grass. And, usually it's going to be just inside the first puller, but you got wash and you got a guy right there that's muddying up everything else. You don't necessarily know where that guy's going to declare. That's why the backer's a day late.
Ted, this is a situation that we've talked about a lot over the last couple of years with OU's running backs. Right here,
Oh,
OU's backs have been getting tackled for more often than not.
the ankle
Let's just be
plug.
real. The majority of the time.
That's right.
When you break those tackles, good things happen. And he's still running and he's scoring. If UTSA can have explosive running plays, and I know that Jahdae Barron's wrong, he probably should actually be kind of in a fold position right where this ball hits back. I mean, he should be there to make a gain of 4 or 5 probably. But hey, mistakes happen.
Got to
Mistakes
capitalize
happen
on
out
it.
on the football field. But I think this is a great example of, hey, they're really, really good on defense. There's no doubt about it. But they're not superhumans, man. I mean, they can be blocked if you're targeting things correctly and you're playing with physicality and you're playing with good technique. You can cover these guys up, and then it's up to the backs to go make plays. See ya.
Yeah. And, I even say, like, I don't know if we'll ever get this exact situation, but, we talked about, running some stuff right at Hill and making sure that he, proves that he's got the physicality and knows where he's supposed to fit. Now, maybe he's doing a good job of adjusting on the fly because he absolutely knows that this is going to hit inside. But as an edge rusher coming off he's got to be outside of that and contain it. And he's peaking here. So, I mean, there's also opportunity if you were to bounce that to the outside. So, I mean, there's
Just
going to
call
be
it how you see it. He's avoiding the collision.
he's avoiding it. Which,
It
sometimes you don't want a guy running into a wall whenever he doesn't need to,
right.
but you also have to make sure that you're on the right side of wherever you need to be.
Yeah. No, you're right. Should leverage that outside. It's a nice job by UTSA. They handle the pressure well. You've got the bust from Barron, and then look at the strides. You're our sprint expert. What
Woo.
do you think, Ted?
Boy, he's kicking. Look how upright he is. He opened it up really fast.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
so close. This is that's I mean, look at the effort there. You can't knock the effort. Now he doesn't get him down, but that's fully horizontal right there.
It sure is.
I mean, and then boom, ouch, that couldn't have felt good on the shoulder. That
Uh,
hurt. And then you have to peek up and watch him score. Barron's like, what did I do?
Also, probably got a mouthful of black rubber pellets, too.
That's true. Oh no. Oh, do you see the cheerleader? You see him? He's
What
not
are we
happy.
doing, guys?
What happened?
Did
What
we
do
have a
we do?
premature ball
Oh,
drop? We didn't have a premature ball drop, did we?
well, let's take a look. No,
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 we're
he's
good.
halfway in the end
We're
zone.
good.
That's good. No issue. Cheerleader's not happy. Oh, she's not happy either. She's not happy at all. Oh, this is my favorite for sure. The blowing the air in anger face. I love that. At
I
least the cheerleaders care. She's not happy. She looks very concerned.
look at the fan up there in the first row playing through the arm break in the cast.
Oh, yeah. Got the water bottle in hand right here.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't know what it says about him. Doesn't look like there's any Sharpie on there. No signatures.
Yeah.
Remember when we were kids and you'd have I never broke a bone as a kid, but
I think there's an age where you got to it's cool to have the Sharpies and then all of a sudden you want it nice and clean. You don't want Sharpie anymore. I don't know what that age is, but
hmm, something to think about, people. That's why you watch this stuff. You get thought provoking things like that. All right, let's take a look at a successful play for Mississippi State in this football game. We talked about their base structure of defense. Now you look at this. Hey, Mississippi State's got them spread out, right? They're 4 wide, but still, you see Texas. They like having, for the most part, 6 guys in their core, right? You've got your 4 defensive linemen. They're in the even front, 2 defensive linemen on each side. You've got your 2 backers, but The reason I put this play on there is I think it shows you just how effective QB run game can be when it's done right. Even when you're not necessarily at a numbers advantage. We talk about gaining an advantage, gaining an extra hat in the blocking scheme when you utilize QB run game. And Ted, I believe that OU's got to do some of that to open some things up in the run game. So let's take a look at what Mississippi State did here. It's as simple as it gets. It's QB draw. Drops back. This looks like draw to me all the way. You see the running back leading up on Anthony Hill, who avoids the contact again, just pointing it out, just pointing out what I see. But it opens up perfectly and touchdown Mississippi State.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that I like, this looks like just straight cover one to me. And look, whenever you go to the finished formation, I mean, it's smart. Hey, cover one down in the red zone, super wide splits with stacks. So look at how much open area you create in the middle of the field when
Yeah.
they go man to man. And, it's dangerous. Hawkins turned Auburn's lights out on one of, early in that series with that really long run whenever they were in man to man. So you may not get a whole lot of this, but whenever you do, this is a really good look against it.
Here's a great look at what just some of the things you can do with QB run game. So you see this a simple QB draw here. Opens well, Hill avoiding the contact there kind of gives a natural lane, and Mississippi State takes advantage of it. But there are so many things if you are willing to run the quarterback, if you are willing for the quarterback to be the primary ball carrier, there are so many different things you can do in this alignment. I mean, just think, Ted, you can just run what I would call it ends up being stretch, right? But you could just run student body right and have him run sweep. We're talking QB sweep, old school. You're running on the backside. You're trying to cut everything off. You're making the defense run and react. You can run counter out of this. Think you get your double team here. You're going back here. You're blocking back. You got your first puller kicking out. This running back becomes your second puller. Now you got to have a guy that can block in the backfield. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a running back. You're going to get the same alignment, whether that's a running back or a tight end. You're probably going to get the same look. Now, you're probably going to have a running back there. And Javante Barnes for Oklahoma has shown the best ability to block, but you can do all kinds of things. You can just run QB zone. I mean, we've seen this team. They really like zone. You can just run zone. You can run zone right here. You can combo this backside. It's split zone. This running back comes and saws this guy off. It's very easy. If you are willing to run this guy, you have equal numbers. And if you get a light box, if you get a 5-man box, oh, don't even get me started. Then you're at a true numbers advantage running the quarterback. Now you can get to all the read game as well, right? And that's a way to change the math. You think about, hey, traditional zone read this way. You're running zone this way. Your numbers are even. You're reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. If he crashes, Hawkins keeps it. If he doesn't, you hand off the zone. You can do that with counter read. It's the exact same thing. You're reading this guy. Then, hey, you're blocking counter. You're going backside. You've got your block back. You can, in this GT counter. So then you've got your kick out puller and your second puller. You're reading this guy. If he runs, you're pulling it. If he doesn't, you're handing it. Like you can do all kinds of things to this alignment if you're willing to run the quarterback or even get to read run game, Ted. But you got to be willing to do it. And it's a lot easier me just drawing on this screen than it is blocking those guys from Texas. Let me make that clear. They're very good. I mean, their defense is very, very solid.
Well, they are. You're right, but the fact remains. And if you just let this play run for a quick second, like right whenever Hill encounters the right there, you can count very simply though. Like all of those things that you drew up work because there's not enough guys for the amount of gaps that you can create. There's just not. Somebody has to two gap and play both sides. And that's whenever you start to get soft. You watch 37. He's trying to figure out, do I come over the double team? Do I stay backside? Because his gap is on the A gap of the center and also inside of the running back. He's got to play two gaps. He's got to guess, and he guesses wrong.
That was not a good guess. It's a bad guess. But I think in the podcast this week, I mentioned zone insert. I think zone insert can be an effective play. It was Michigan's best play against Texas. And this is another example of just a look where I think it can be successful. But in this look, you run QB zone insert. And your insert guy is the running back. It's once again, I drew out the split zone look. This is just, hey, we're zoning here. We're up to 37. You've got a dry block here. Hey, take him farther than he wants to go this way. You just man it and wall it off here. And you've got your running back leading up, inserting, and your quarterback's kind of riding this and running zone insert. How many plays have I just come up with? 6, 7?
Yeah.
I mean, it is, if you're willing, I know I've said it a lot, but if you're willing to run the quarterback and make him the primary ball carrier, there's a lot of good stuff that you can get to against the base look that Texas has played the vast majority of the season.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
Drawing it up on paper is much easier than going out and blocking 45 and 95 and 8 and 0 and 88. These guys are all good football players. I think 95 and 45, it may not look like it right here, but those guys are playing by far the best ball of their careers.
Yeah, that's actually really good by 45. That's about as good as you're going to get off.
Look at that left arm. Look at him just absolutely. Oh, shit, that O lineman is completely stoned. Boom.
Yep. No,
he's the guy that concerns me the most for OU's interior offensive line because he's got length and he just displays some raw power in some of his pass rushes that, it's a tad concerning. He's the guy that I think he's their best interior guy. He needs to be a better actor though.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to fall. You got to fall, Broughton. If you're gonna say it, Kevin Wilson, when I was still a tight end, he would say, if you're getting held by a defensive lineman, be demonstrative.
That's right.
You got to be more demonstrative than that, Broughton. You got to flop. You got to flop more than that. He's trying to sell it, but just
you got to do
enough.
it early, like right whenever the point of contact is coming. He's late. The back's already past him.
Here's where he needs to flop here, right there. He's got to start flailing. Too late. You're right. Hey, that's a step or two too late with the flail.
But go back one more time, and this is what I always talk about of just like running past blocks.
Yeah,
because you see, Zero does it, and he's on a blitz, so. Like part of it is okay, but that's a short set by the quarterback. That running back's giving up like 55 pounds to you. You got to be able to take a piece of him and go right through him and put him in the quarterback's lap because all you do is open a massive gaping hole right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we drew them all up. You can get to a variety. Touchdown, Mom. Nice play. All right. Here's the last play we're going to look at. But first,
all you tailgaters, listen up. We are now officially in the premium conference of college football. You expect a premium product on the field and on the grill. That's why you need Didier Ranch's steak burgers to take your tailgate to the next level. Proudly raised in Oklahoma for over 120 years, premium beef this good is hard to come by. Go to DidierRanch.com. That's DIDIER ranch.com. Use promo code Oklahoma15 for 15% off your order. Didier Ranch, tradition plays better and tastes better.
All right. So this is Texas's go to, and they've got a couple variations of it, but this is the Longhorns go to in second and long and third and long. So they want to get in essentially a version of bear. Now they bring Colin Simmons in, who is going to be an absolute dude for them on the edge, who is their twitchiest pass rusher. And then they bring Anthony Hill down and get him at the line of scrimmage. Now, they will put these guys in different spots. Sometimes you'll see a traditional bear look where there's a defensive lineman on the outside shoulder of the guard. There's a head up guy. There's another defensive lineman here. And then you'll see Simmons 11 in a spinner look. Or they'll get in this overload look, kind of like they have right here, where there's three defensive linemen, and maybe they've got a guy kind of wandering around over here. But the ultimate goal for them is to create 5 one-on-ones across the board. That is what they want. Now, they do a variety of things out of these various bear looks. The main thing that they've done up to this point is twist out of it. And that comes in many different ways. They will just have the guy in the middle rush head up, and then they will do some ET twists on both sides, right? ET meaning end is first on the twist game. Tackle says, oh, I'm rushing, and then wraps around on the twist game. They'll do the same thing, but they'll do TEs, right? Where the tackle is the penetrator. He's hard. The end's up the field. Oh, I'm coming inside. And it's on both sides. And then they'll do some of these 3-man twists in the middle where, hey, maybe it's these two guys are slanting this way. This guy's selling it, and he's the wrapper in the twist game. They've got all kinds of different twist variations. But, Ted, I think they get to this because they want number 11 or number 8, Trey Moore. They want those guys to have a one-on-one. I think that's the ultimate goal here with how they line up. And they don't always bring all 5. And you'll see in this play right here, they're dropping both of these guys, and they're actually bringing the nickel. He is an hour late on the blitz, but they're dropping both of these guys out and playing some coverage in behind it. They will just rush 3 and then play deep zone coverage behind it. They do a lot, but it's really out of this is what they've shown in these situations. So let's just take a look at what this play looks like right here. 11-1 quickly. Sack.
Great get off.
Let's be real. He is going to be an absolute dude. He's their best pass rusher already. The twitch he has, the get off. He wins with speed. He's doing a really nice job of getting guys' hands. He hasn't quite developed the quick inside counter, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming. And the guy is just he's an excellent athlete. See ya.
You got to deal with some of that with snap count.
No doubt about it.
Because he is all over that one.
There's no doubt. And you see 95 Alfred Collins, or is that Broughton in the middle? That's Broughton, 45. He's a good pass rusher in the interior. When they like to have 3 defensive linemen, maybe in the bear look, you'll see Baron Sorrell sometimes kick inside over a guard. They do all kinds of different things, but it's a bear look, and you're probably going 5 for 5 if you're OU's offensive line. Now, in this particular play, that nickel comes, he's coming from so far away that I think the tackle for Oklahoma, you'd actually be able to get out, but that's the running back's guy in the blocking scheme because you're taking the 5 guys that are at the line of scrimmage. If that guy comes, that's typically the running back's guy. Now, if he's going to be this late, you know your guy drops that quick, you may be able to work back out to that guy, and the running back can get out in a route. But the key is don't get beat clean by 11. Man, that looks good.
Yep, that's hard to You can't do much if you're going to get beat on the backside of that quickly and that cleanly. Because I
He
think they got something here with that running back splitting the seam. Because they're trying. I mean, they're just getting to bring in four guys and they're playing zone in behind it.
yeah.
And he looks like he's purposely ripping up the seam, like they've got something here against this pressure. I mean,
Let's
it's
also be
not a
real.
pressure, but whatever you want to call it.
Let's be real though, Ted. I'm going to circle something real quick. That can't happen on Saturday.
What
If
do you
OU's
say?
operating, I circled the third and 18. Pay attention, man. Come on, lock
Well,
in.
I don't see that's not on my screen. I just see I hardly see any of your circle there.
Okay, how about now?
No, that's further away. Now I just barely now I got it.
I'll point an arrow to it. I'm leaving all this in. There it is. That is that's a catastrophic situation for Michael
Yes.
Hawkins and for OU's offense. You cannot be in these situations. Third and 8, okay. Third and 6, much better. Third and 3, much better. Third and 18, nightmare. Nightmare.
Nightmare. But look at this game.
Yeah.
14-6, middle of the third. I mean, they go all the way until the end of the third before Texas finally punches it in to get some separation.
In this look, the key for Oklahoma along the offensive line is to set back off the ball. Step back off the ball and give yourself time to pass off the twists. Set back off the ball. Now, we looked at Michael Hawkins' long touchdown run against Auburn a couple episodes ago on In the Weeds. And one of the reasons why it didn't look very clean from an offensive line perspective is because Jake Taylor and Fabechi Weewu got on different levels because Weewu did not set far enough off the ball. You know that these variations of Bear are what they do. You have to set off the ball, know that twists are coming. If they drop and only rush 3, okay. Anchor, double the guys, hit them in the ribs, do what you got to do. That is what it is. But the twists, the games are coming. And you have to set off the ball and be at a similar depth to snap guys off and knock them across your buddy's face and pass all this stuff off. That's how offensive lines at the highest level do it. And I assume, Ted, that's what we're going to see from Oklahoma. That's going to be the plan. Let's go take care of the 5 down guys. Let's set off the ball. Let's pass all this stuff up, and let's give Michael Hawkins a clean pocket to throw from in these obvious pass situations.
Yep. Nope. That's it. Gonna have a really good. It's gonna have to be the best game our offensive line has played all season, and it's gonna be tough duty, and there's no doubt. But they're in their best position to do so.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Super thanks down this way if you really liked it. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.